Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at one of my favorite filming spot locations, and guess what? We have one of those fan favorites when it comes to big ol' people movers for your family. This is it. This is a 2023 Chevrolet Suburban. This particular one is the top dog. It's the High Country. But before we get into this maximum length, maximum strength Suburban, let's talk about what's going on here. The Chevy Suburban. Would you believe it has been around since 1935? That's why I say it's really that nameplate, that iconic vehicle that's been in Chevy's lineup, which seems for almost forever. This is now the 12th generation of this vehicle, and for 2023, Chevy's bringing a lot of technology, of course, a lot of interior room, and a new color. Now, when it comes to this full-size, extra long SUV, there's been a lot of competition that have been coming to play. Obviously, you have the Ford Expedition Max, you got the Jeep Grand Wagoneer and Wagoneer Ls, and we can't forget the sister vehicle brand to this particular one, which would be, of course, the GMC Yukon Denali extended version. Now, even when you look at high luxury models like the Cadillac Escalade, like the Lincoln Navigator, a lot of vehicles have come to play in this segment of the auto industry. What I want to find out is, if you're looking for the best new maximum size, full size SUV that brings luxury, is this better than the competition over the Grand Wagoneer, over the Lincoln Navigator, the Escalade, and the rest of them? Let's go ahead. Let's dive into our Silver Sage. It's a new color for 2023, Silver Sage Suburban, and find out. Right off the bat, the sheer presence of this vehicle really gets your attention, and I'm digging the Silver Sage color. New to their lineup. Let me know how you feel about the color on this particular Suburban. Now at the front, you're getting full LED lighting. Love the way they do the headlight housing. Very, very small overall, some silver accents. You have your boomerang-shaped LED turn signals and daytime running lamps. And of course, we have maximum size corner air curtains to help smooth out that air as it hits the front of the vehicle and goes down the side. But when they did the refresh on this vehicle, I really love the way that they do the lighting now. It really fits it nicely, especially for the sheer width of the Suburban. Now, when we come across the grille, you're getting a unique grille specific to the High Country. It actually has the High Country name nicely stamped in that silver portion with some bronze accents. That is what separates the grille from the rest of the crew. You do have a forward-facing camera up front, and of course, Louis Chevrolet, that famous bow tie right in the center. Working your way down, you do have active shutters, which are going to open and close, and you're getting a little bit of this nice brushed aluminum look. One thing I would have liked to have seen, instead of these fake vent areas, I would have liked to have seen some LED fog lamps. So I am going to zonk that, but still very, very powerful of a design at the front of the Suburban. Now, when we get up onto the hood, it's got that familiar Chevy shape to it. Now, what I like what they did is you have a major U-shaped indentation, but then you have a rise and a little bit of a peak that fades away. And like I said, that Silver Sage, it's got more metal flake in it than your grandpa's balls. His bowling balls, more metal flake than his bowling balls. Now, as we come around the corner, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. I hope you have your Suburban official Oakleys on, because guess what? We have these chrome accents all the way around. Nice metallic silver. This is a 22-inch wheel. So when you go the big boy, the High Country, you're getting these 22-inch wheels. I like the design, and I like the way it's got a nice center cover that covers up all the lug nuts. Of course, we have magnetic ride suspension. GM is the creator, the original creator of magnetic ride. And we also have the adaptive air ride suspension, which is an option on this Suburban. Now, as we rise up, you got the High Country badge. I don't mind the placement. Those are the Colorado Rockies. That's where Louis Chevrolet used to spend all of his summers. We do have color match on the mirror caps, LED lighting and 360-degree cameras. There's that name, Suburban. I remember as a kid seeing the big Suburbans. My dad had a 1978 Blazer. This thing though, as you can see, has maximized with size. A little bit of shiny silver on the door handles with that silver sage, and you're gonna get the same color not only on the tops of the door handles, but also at the base of the windows here. Just on the bottom, not on the top. I like the way they did that. I also like, look at this, the automatic dropping electric running boards. Those will close up very nicely. And then up, way up, you have the brushed aluminum roof rails, which you could get your crossbars. Now coming towards the rear, love the way it goes into this hockey stick design. Doesn't go all the way back, but coming all the way back, you're gonna get a quarter window that looks like it's right off of a Boeing 747. And then all the way to the rear, I love what they did. Thank you, Chevrolet. Look at this. They hid the rear wiper. They tucked it way up underneath the rear spoiler. You got your clear third brake light, the Suburban name with the bow tie, nicely placed in that trim. Of course, we have our lighting, and this is a zonk. On the High Country, we have bulbs. I can actually see Thomas Edison in there rocking on his rocking chair. That should be all LED. That goes without saying. But you do have, look what we have underneath the hood. First time ever on Rady's Rise, we have the Duramax Suburban. So we have that turbo diesel, which we'll get to in a second. Drop it like it's hot. Nice, clean on the lower bumper. Of course, this panel pops off and you have full towing capability. But why don't we go ahead and pop that massive hood on this massive SUV known as the Suburban. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts now. Guess what? There's not a lot of options. If you want a turbo diesel engine, not a lot of options. You could go GMC, you could go Cadillac. If we're looking at the Grand Wagoneer, that's a big no-no. They do have a straight six twin turbocharged engine, internal combustion engine, fuel engine that runs on gasoline. That produces over 500 horsepower, and that's a sweetheart of an engine. What do we have under this Suburban? We have underneath the hood that Duramax turbo diesel. So you're looking at a 3-liter inline 6 turbo diesel engine producing 277 horsepower, but that's not what diesel engines are about. It's not horsepower. It's about the torque. 460 pound-feet of torque. It's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. You could tow up to 7,800 pounds. The vehicle weighs around 6,000 pounds, 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. Here's where you're gonna come out on top. If you're looking at the High Country with the internal combustion gasoline engine, you're looking at MPG's 14 in the city, 19 on the highway. This Duramax turbo diesel gets 20 in the city and 26 on the highway. So you do lose a little bit of towing capacity, which is surprising, but you definitely maximize on diesel fuel consumption. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this turbo diesel and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, here we are inside this 2023 Chevrolet Suburban High Country. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, thank you. Thank you and Chevrolet for bringing this vehicle, because I was about to pull the pin on a Grand Wagoneer or a Wagoneer L, and I was hoping that you were going to do this vehicle. Joe, tell me, how much is it? Very good question. MSRP, the way this one is optioned, with the optional, of course, air ride adaptive suspension and all the other goodies, adaptive cruise, and of course, super cruise, which is that semi-autonomous driving, you look at an MSRP of $90,000. Let's see how it stacks up to the door panel. Love the milk chocolate brown with the black. Up top, you got some wood finish because this is the High Country, some nice contrast stitching, a little bit of shiny silver. Good news is no gloss black. You do have, of course, your required Twinkie pocket in the center. 7 lucky Twinkies can fit in there, and then down below you can easily get that full 12-inch meatball sub from Subway. Ask for extra parm. You know what? Tell them to throw an extra ball in there, an extra meatball. There's room for it. And you have an area for a bottle of IBC root beer. We got the Bose sound system. And then as we go to the dash, more of that great soft material, the stitching, the wood. Come on over into the infotainment. We have a little secret compartment. Nice felt lining. What you could place in here is your piccolo that used to play in 6th grade. Believe it or not, Steven was a piccolo grandmaster champion when he was in 7th grade. Not in 6th, but in 7th grade. You can keep that piccolo in there. It's got felt lining so you don't scratch your piccolo. And then guess what? Not a 12-inch, not a 32-inch. You have a 10.25-inch infotainment system screen. Now, I know that may almost seem small by today's standards when you're looking especially at the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, but it does everything so very well. And I like the way that it's integrated for the most part, except for a little bit that peeks past the top of the dash. You got your Google Maps. And then the other things that I love is all of the great intuitive information. You could go into your cameras, 1, 2, 3. We got trajectory, camera out the front. You could go to the side, check out your 22-inch wheels, blingity bling bling. You can see when you're parking. I mean, this thing has more cameras than the space shuttle did on its first flight back in 1981. So they got you covered there. Also, when it comes to your trailering, I like the way they have a nice checklist. You got all of your different cameras and everything to make life easy, because you don't want to look like that newbie when you're trying to put the boat in the water down at the docks. Even Amazon Alexa. And there's more. So you can go all the way to news and all the way back again. Working your way down, this is going to control that 10-speed automatic. You got your AC vents nicely integrated. More buttons, and they're all functional except for this one right here. This used to be the ejector seat, but GM had to remove that. There were some complaints from passengers that bumped their head on the way down after being ejected. We do have our dual climate control with anti-slip knobs. You do have ventilated seats, 3 stages, and 3 stages of heated seats. The rear AC control, USB-C, USB-A. Whoop, it closed. 12 volt, gotta be quick. Wireless charging, 2 cup holders. There's your Chevrolet key fob. Spin it around, we do have remote start. On the side, you have the official Chevrolet banana pocket, can hold up to 1 Chiquita banana full size. And then you have a little bit of spy technology here, and I'll show you in a second. You got a place for your phone, some stitching, open it up. You could easily fit a whole box of Milky Way chocolate bars in here. And the way that this brown is, it reminds me of a nice creamy Milky Way, maybe even a 3 Musketeer. But watch this, you ready? Hocus pocus, alakazam, I want this to move. Look at that. All by the press of a button. Now you have enough room to where you could easily put, say you're at a game and you're trying to get a basketball game, you're trying to get Michael Jordan to sign your ball, you could have the basketball right here, or nice little tray. You could keep all your Jolly Ranchers, all your Tootsie Rolls, or you could put a purse, a sack, a satchel, or even one of your grandfather's bowling balls. If he lets you borrow one of his balls, you can keep that ball right here. Put your 3 fingers in it, you're ready to go. Seats, high country, embroidery. Those are the Rocky Mountains. I can see Steven when he used to ski at the top there. The stitching, the leather is great. Full electric assist with the cool piping. Electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And we also have that panoramic sunroof. Look at that. Nice one-touch operation. Look, Mom, no hands. And you have a digital rear view. I can't even say it. Digital rear view mirror. Nicely done. GM was the first to do that, by the way. Get your butt over here. I want to show you behind the 12 inches that I have in the Suburban. All right, guys, we are sitting high on the hog in this high country. You'll look down below. You got that nice high country, a sill plate to welcome you. We have 2 memory seat settings, and you can make all of your electric adjustments so simply from the side of the seat. I'm 6 feet tall, and if you need more room, I guess you're gonna have to drive like a freaking 18-wheeler or something, because I don't know what other options are available to you. Steering wheel, leather all the way around. We have our Super Cruise that maps out. There's tons of different highways where it's semi-autonomous driving. You don't have to keep your hands on the steering wheel whatsoever. You just gotta look forward. You do have some nice bronze accents to it, sort of like on the dash. The grill. I wish there was some nice stitching though on this horn button. It looks a little bland. Love the way they have all the controls for your 4x4 system, your lighting, all the cameras, your hill descent control, your head-up display, and we have a power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And then there's those 12 inches, I promise you. It's actually 12.3 inches of just visual perfection. Scroll through a cornucopia of information. You have your digital speedometer, tachometer, and all the readouts, and a head-up display, but really nicely laid out in here. I think that's the thing I always kind of like to feel when I'm in a Chevy Suburban. It's just, it's laid out very well. But let's get in the mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna like this super size, super SUV. All right guys, massive mid-row time, and this is where your passengers are gonna feel very comfy. You get, for the mid-row, the same exact leather seating material and style. Let me pull up the headrest to make it official as the front seats. Thank you, Chevrolet. This is what I'm talking about. When you have a captain's chair, this is the style of armrest I wanna see. And you can flip it out of the way very easily. Backs of the seats, we have the optional rear entertainment, over 13 inches of touchscreen capability. Of course, you got your Wi-Fi, you can watch your Hulu, your YouTube, the whole 9 yards. And you have your wireless headset and a perfect pocket to put it somewhere. But what you could do is, if you're using the headset, you could keep at least 3 boxes of Cracker Jacks on each side. And what's great about Cracker Jacks is that there's a cool prize, hopefully, at the bottom of your box. Now, back when I was younger, the prizes were better, of course, because everything was better when I was younger, but you still get a prize at the bottom of the box, hopefully. But you have to see, not me. Back of the command center, we got 2 cup holders. You got your rear AC, 3 stages of heated seats, but no ventilated seats, and that's a zonk at $90,000. We got our HDMI inputs. You got your USB-Cs and a home power source down below, which is very nice. Now, when it comes to the seats, and this headrest is like jabbing me right in my back of my neck, they do slide, and they do recline very nicely, which is great. You got your oh crap handle. So if you're going down a bumpy Michigan road, you could like hold on. You got your AC vents up top. Of course, the sunshade goes back for the panoramic sunroof. But why don't we go ahead? We got 3 rows in this big SUV. Let's see how much room is back there for your passengers in the Suburban. All right, guys, 3rd row time. I'm gonna show you how easy it is to put the seat down from the back seat. Boom, look at that. Come on in to my mobile condominium, because this is as much room as you're gonna get in an SUV. If you want more room, you're gonna have to go minivan. My knees are in the lowest position. Remember, we have that independent rear suspension underneath us, and we have, of course, a 2-speed transfer case for the 4x4 system and mechanical limited slip diff. So something else to think about. Now, if you go Telluride, your knees are gonna be right around here. This is what it's gonna look like. But because you went big and you went Suburban, your rear seat passengers get to be even more comfortable. They did a great job with the same materials. You have USB-Cs, plenty of room for cups, and a nice little yogurt tray, and a little tiny soft armrest area, just because they want the 3rd row passengers to not feel like peasants or serfs. And if you don't know what a serf is, use the Google. I'm not talking about hanging 10. But why don't we go ahead, let's hang out in the cargo area and see how much room we have in the Suburban. All right, guys, cargo area time. Now, before I open the rear liftback, I do want to show you what's nice about the Suburban is you do have a button somewhere under here. There it is. You hit that button, it pops the rear glass, and what's cool is that gives you easy accessibility. Like, say if you go to, I don't know, your kid's hockey game and they forgot their hockey stick in the Suburban, you don't have to open up the rear thing. You just grab it and go. Also, you can see the placement of the rear wiper. This is what I think all brands should do, and get that wiper out of the way. Now, to open up the back, of course, you just hit the button. Nice electric assist, It's fast opening. You're gonna be greeted to over 40 cubic feet of space. You're actually looking at, believe it or not, 41.5 cubic feet of space. I love the way that you just have a nice wide and tall opening on the passenger side. You're gonna see that you have all your switch gear to fold down your rear third row and mid row, and we have a nice home power source. And then Steven's gonna pan to the back, and I'm gonna show you how we maximize the space. So you do have to push and hold, 60-40 rear split, which is nice. And then of course that mid row can then lie down flat as well. What you're gonna be getting is basically a mobile apartment. My college dorm room did not have as much interior room for your junk in this Suburban. 144.7 cubic feet of space. So if you get kicked out of the house and you need somewhere to live, what you do is guess what? Get yourself an air mattress, throw it on in here, inflate it, and you are good to go. You can live outside of Panera Bread, use their Wi-Fi, go in for some hot, fresh bread when they yell that at the top of their lungs, and then you don't need anybody else. Hit that button, closes on down. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go super cruise around Tampa Bay in this super Suburban. All right, guys, we are in this 2023 Chevrolet Suburban, this being the high country, and boy, oh boy, are you definitely gonna feel good driving this vehicle when you go high country. All of the top materials. I love the massive head-up display that's got your augmented reality, lets you know how much space you have from the vehicle that's directly in front of you. It's got the posted speed limit, your actual speed, and everything in between. If you have not driven a large vehicle like this, don't be scared. It's actually fairly easy to drive. Getting to the infotainment system screen, well within reach. And then of course you have the array of buttons and knobs to control everything from AC to the radio and all the other goodies. Seats, very supportive, very comfortable. And then you'll see that digital rear view mirror, just how clear the resolution is with that camera. Of course you have your different modes, trailer, sport, normal, and off-road, because we got that 4x4 action with this particular Suburban. And you're getting all of your safety features, your blind spot monitoring, your lane keep assist, and then of course Super Cruise. All right, we're gonna get out onto the highway on throttle. Here we go. Lots of torque from that Duramax turbo diesel engine. And I personally like the sound of a diesel engine, especially with the way that they made it much quieter than diesels from the past, but yet it's got that particular note to it, which is very familiar. But visibility, like I said, is awesome in this thing. Plus the fact that you have lots of room for not only your passengers, but also whatever stuff you need to haul around. When it comes to Super Cruise, you can see I have the green light on, and guess what? Hands-free, feet-free driving. This is semi-autonomous driving. You just need to look forward, and it will guide you down the road. And like I said, GM has added more roads to the Super Cruise library, and it allows you to be able to sit back and in a stressful driving situation, not have to be white knuckling everything. You can sit back, you keep your eyes forward. That's what that little device does down by the steering wheel, is to make sure that you're looking forward, and you could actually feel it adjusting. Now here we are, it's changing lanes because the lane in front of us is going slower than what I set our speed to, and it actually changed lanes by itself. So a very, very unique, cool feature that General Motors has come up with. And what I love about it, it's so easy to use. So easy. But inside the cabin, I could really focus on just how quiet it is, how comfortable. They've increased the sound deadening material in the high country. Of course, thicker side glass, acoustic windshield, really gives you a nice driving environment. And this is something, the Super Cruise feature, this is something that you're not going to get on a Grand Wagoneer, on other vehicles in this segment. But definitely the Super Cruise feature feels very natural, and once you get used to it, it's not very bothersome. But it is at first, I'll be honest with you, it is at first a little kind of shocking just sitting here and you're not inputting on anything. That to me is the craziest thing. But having the ventilated seats feels good on a hot Florida day like today. Navigation could be a little larger, but like I said, to me, I don't need a 72-inch screen. I'll just go home and watch TV or something if I want to look at a screen that large. But definitely, it just allows you to really feel at home with how the driving's going. Changing lanes, it noticed the cars around us and what's going on. It changes lanes all by itself. And what's great is that with the long wheelbase over, say, Chevrolet Tahoe, you actually have a better ride in here. It actually feels cooler and more stable in here than it does in the Chevy Tahoe. But this is a lot of fun to be able to showcase this technology to you and how it works. Soaks up bumps, the MagneRide suspension with the Air Ride adaptive suspension soaks up bumps nicely. And I just can't believe how smooth everything is in here. But the green light means we're good with the Super Cruise, and it lets you know when it may need you to interact with it. Like if I look away, right now I'm looking out the driver's side window, and eventually it will notice that I'm not paying attention. So you see how it's flashing? That means that it's like saying, Joe, I need you to hold on to the steering wheel, or to at least look forward. But that's what's cool about this technology, is that it still allows you to sightsee, but overall you need to keep your eyes on the road. I mean, that's the bottom line. But really cool how it senses that right away and alerts me that I need to look forward. I shut the Super Cruise off. I now have full control of the vehicle. And like I was saying, just it's a very, very easy system to use. In sport mode, which I have it in sport mode right now, it of course adjusts the feeling to the steering, the throttle sensitivity, and how the 10-speed behaves with the Duramax engine. But definitely gobs of torque low in the rev range, which allows you to pull that boat, pull that trailer very, very easily, yet get better fuel economy than the gasoline-powered Suburban. Love the head-up display. It really takes a lot of the mystery out of driving this vehicle, being able to see everything as you're looking out the windshield. But on throttle, here we go. 10-speed drops down and we are off. Smooth shifts from the 10-speed. But I think that you're really going to enjoy not only the amount of room in this thing, but just how it drives. It really is a pleasure to get behind the wheel of this Suburban and just cruise. I mean, do your daily commutes, go to work, pick the kids up from school, go to Costco, go to Sam's Club. This thing does it all, and does it all very, very well. Super Cruise setting in. So all I gotta do is just hit that one button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, and we're golden. And then as you can see, hands-free operation. If you turn on the turn signal, you want to change lanes, it'll go ahead and do that. But it's just really cool how it adjusts its speed, it adjusts everything going on, and all you have to do is sit here and enjoy the ride. This is the technology that GM is bringing with this Chevrolet Suburban. But I hope this has been a nice overall review of what this vehicle is capable of. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a Suburban second. All right, guys, it's been a great day in Tampa Bay. Definitely want to thank Cody and the rest of the team over at Chevrolet for getting us access to this 2023 Suburban. Let me know what you think. Has Chevy really hit the nail on the head, giving you the technology like Super Cruise, giving you the availability of a turbo diesel, and giving you maximum passenger and cargo volume over a Grand Wagoneer? Let me know down in that comment section how you feel about that, because I promise you Cody's going to be reading. Aren't you, Cody? I see you there. He is going to be reading. So make sure you let your feelings be known. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Radius Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up to Stephen Flood, Stephen Flood Photography. He has never been in a vehicle as large as a Suburban, besides a plane. He's been in a plane, but never in a Suburban. He enjoyed it. Show Stephen some love in that comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.